house at Sandsound in Shetland is situated very close to the sea at the bottom of a very steep cliff. For them to get to their house, they have to take an access road over property belonging to Bruce Jamieson. That access road leads from the main public road down to Da Stour, which is the name of Jimmy and Alison's house, and it goes past a house called the Stour House, which belonged to Keith and Eloise Jamieson. Keith Jamieson being the son of Bruce Jamieson, who owns the land on which the access road is built. They drive down the road from the main public road to the top of the cliff, park their motor vehicle there, then access the actual property by going down a very steep flight of stairs to the Stour itself. Then suddenly, in August 1998, the Jamiesons decided to straighten up a garden wall and realign it in such a way that it would actually eat into the access road that the Moncriefs used and completely cut off the parking area that they used. There seemed to be no agreement on the Jamiesons' part in order to change the line of this wall, and the Moncriefs were left with no real option but to raise court proceedings. When the case was raised in Lerwick Sheriff Court, it concerned the question, the real question at the time was the question of interdict, i.e. stopping the Jamiesons from building a wall across the Moncriefs' access route and parking area. Sheriff Colin Scott Mackenzie decided in favour of the Moncriefs. He decided that there was a servitude right to park linked with their right of access to the property. By giving this decision, he in effect made an important step forward in the development of Scots law. When the case was heard in court session, two of the three judges found in favour of the Moncriefs that they did indeed have a servitude right to park linked to their access rights. That was Lords Marnock and Phillip. However, Lord Hamilton gave a dissenting opinion. He took a very strict line, taking the view that Scots law just did not recognise the servitude right to park, and that was that. But with 2 to 1, Moncriefs were still successful before the Court of Session. No doubt it was Lord Hamilton's dissenting opinion that gave the Jamiesons some hope that they might be able to overturn the Court of Session's decision before the House of Lords. And so we ended up in the House of Lords. In July, 2 days of submissions were given by QCs to 5 law lords. And now we simply await the decision of those law lords as to whether the Moncriefs have a right to park linked to the right of access, and because it is the highest court in the land, that decision will be of great importance not only to the Moncriefs and the Jamiesons, but also from a wider point of view in Scots law.
Well, from the point of view of the law, this is a hugely important case. People have been arguing for years in Scotland as to whether the class of servitudes is closed. In other words, can you have new servitudes that you haven't had before? And the Scottish Law Commission certainly came round to the point of view that you couldn't, and they even promoted an act of the Scottish Parliament to create a statutory means of creating servitudes. In the event, their lordships decided that the class of servitudes is not closed, and indeed you can have a new servitude, and they found that you can indeed have a servitude of parking. Because it's such a contentious matter also in England, where the law is quite similar, they also took the opportunity to clarify the law of England and to determine that you can have an easement of parking in England as well. So there's going to be very big repercussions in the law from this. It's quite a departure. first new servitude in Scotland for hundreds of years and settled an academic argument that's been raging in both Scotland and England.
I've been involved in this case for 3 of the 9 years that it's been going on. My involvement was in the Court of Session and in the House of Lords. It's a pleasure to be involved and very interesting to see, particularly the House of Lords in action. As far as the case itself is concerned, it's obviously of great personal significance to Mr. Lord Reef. I think its general significance remains to be seen. There are 1 or 2 aspects of it that may be capable of being developed, but the Lords have been quite careful to make sure that this is really quite specific to its facts, so we need to wait and see how it develops in the future.
Well, we're obviously delighted that the House of Lords has found unanimously in our favour 5 judges and no dissenting judges, and that's a tremendous decision. It's a vindication of our position and our rights of access and parking at our house. But it's gone on far, far too long. It's 9 years and it's been at a tremendous financial and personal cost, but at least justice has been done at the end of the day.